It has been suggested that my new project of Insignificance, the personal philosophy one, is a little similar to Man in the Bath. And I suppose it has its roots in the same place, in that I've always been an overthinker and over-explainer. I'll quite often spend time explaining my explanations to people. But the genesis for Man in the Bath, which is continuing to be probably my most popular novel, was that the thoughts and ponderings I had while lying soaking in the tub, which made it into the book, that phrase. Even though only the first philosophical break about who the fifth Beatle is based on my own thoughts or opinions. The others are designed deliberately, I think, to provoke and to show the type of work which can get a reaction on social media, although it was written before the time of social media. But I'm very different from the main character in that. I think I'll probably do a post, probably the next post on here. I'll talk a little bit about the differences between myself and David. Maybe do a series on some of my lead characters. But this is a very different beast. This is me writing down my ponderings with no knowledge or expectation that they will necessarily get an audience, and certainly not pandering. So there will be some areas that I think people will argue with. But one thing I want to try and do by it is raise debate. One of the things I like to do in my writing is to provoke reactions, but also to provoke questions in the non-fiction work especially, and you'll find that in the new one, that people don't take things at face value and think about them, research them maybe even a little themselves. We do live in a unfortunate world, I think, post proliferation of mobile phones and the internet, where people tend to look things up and believe what's written down over thinking for themselves or doing some research into the veracity of sources or who's actually posted opinions in the first place. And a lot of social media tends to be an echo chamber, so you're quite frequently put in with people who reflect your own values and opinions anyway, so you don't get that full debate. But this is an area which I will cover in Insignificance, the first post of which will be up shortly. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that don't go into it expecting it to be the same as Man in the Bath. It isn't. Plus, of course, you don't have to suffer from seeing my pasty arse in a bath, which is always an advantage to anyone in life. But the sections I'm writing down are my opinions, which I'm quite willing to change or have challenged. And I think that's probably one of the big differences between me and the main character in the book. But we'll go on to that on the next video.